I want to share the brief life more than what I have of William P Vaser. We have very little information on him. Outside of newspaper clippings and business records records of what he built. We know for certain he came from a family of 10. Mom was a very busy woman, 4 sets of twins. Wow. And then William and his other sister, and they were the only ones that were born that were not twins. He moved to New Albany approximately 1890, married his wife Sarah about 92, 93 in Washington County, so Salem area. And then their daughter Esther was adopted in 1913. Ruth Esther was adopted in 1913. We have some construction records for those homes on Eakin Avenue and Wesley Chapel. 1921, as Mary will soon tell you, he runs and becomes city councilman, and then he disappears off the record. He picks up one extra time in 1935 for the marriage of Ruth to a man by the name of Elmer Farnsley, who's not in the post notes, but they get married in the front room of the house. Which is, I'm going to be real. I understand it's a Victorian tradition, and that's what you did back in the days. But you know, mom passed away, and they had the funeral in the front parlor. Sister passes away in the house. That's the funeral in the front parlor. Daughter gets married. Let's have the wedding in the front parlor. The circle of life. But Ruth and Elmer lived next door to William and his wife Sarah from the time of their marriage until both their parents' deaths. Sometime after Mom passed away, Ruth and Elmer, her husband, who I assume she met through school, he lived right up the street, moved into the property, and then when they died, they had no children. There's only one known photo of William Vaser. There's none of him as a family that we know of. The photo of him, they speculate is him based off the identification, and it was taken around 1902 when he was working for Day and Company. There's no other records of this man. There was 30 more years left of life, and we have nothing compared to DePauw's, Culbertson's. To summarize it, he was just an average Joe doing average Joe things, living his best life. And that's the story of him. So thank you for listening. I want to explain that. I know a lot of the other scenes you'll see tonight are a bit lengthier than this, but they have more information on their person's legacy. The one fun fact I can tell you about myself is that I live in a Vaser home, and that's why I'm doing this scene. My neighbor Tim and Homer lives in the 1740. I live in 41, the 2-story with the unfinished attic. Deb Ryle, if anybody knows her, it's right down from Hazelwood on Thomas Street. There's the old Mosier home, which is stone with the terracotta roof, and there's the greenhouse Deb Ryle lives in, and then I've yet to identify the one on Indiana in Eakin. It's one of 2, and I can't figure out which one it is. It's either at the intersection where it veers into Slate Run Road, or it's on the corner. So that's that.
And I think the saddest thing is the very next recorded thing that we have about Mr. Vaser is when he died at the age of 85, and he died at the Madison State Hospital.
Which was, for those of you who don't know, was a mental asylum for the state for a long time.
How soon or how much before he passed did she pass?
She passed after him.
She passed after him?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last one who was alive was Elmer, his son-in-law, who passed in either 81 or 84. I can't remember.
Well, thank you for sharing what you
Thank you, and that's I wanted to share.